I've been called a nigger.
Dirty black.
Oh, your mother must be horny, a horny Indian.
Squaw. I've been called Indian giver.
I've been called monkey.
You don't belong here? You should go to Arabic countries?
Coon. Nigger.
Sand nigger. I've been called a coconut.
Dirty Packy.
Dirty Indians.
They used to call me white.
I've been called big lips, big nose.
Oh, she's wearing a hijab. She must be hiding something inside. You know, she must be a terrorist.
They know we're obviously Muslim, and that's when they start the name calling.
It always hurts your feelings.
Towelhead. ISIS.
Is that racism?
Absolutely it is, because that's not my name. Racism has many faces.
It is culturally embedded in our society.
My definition of racism is a systemic idea that one race is better than the other.
Possibly a fear of others.
Racism is when someone is judged or criticized based on the color of their skin, the religion that they believe in.
False belief of one race supremacy and dominance over another.
Yes, you are treated in an unjust manner. Where your basic human rights are not given.
I think it's really hard to define what racism truly is, because you have to be in the mindset of somebody else.
I feel like racism isn't just a verbal or physical action. It could even just be nonverbal.
Or any kind of physical action, whether it's a glance or any kind of gesture.
My definition of racism is when one ethnic background believes they are superior to another ethnic background.
If I was about to go into a store, like the owner of the store is looking at me, like any direction I turn, she's turning that way.
That's actually happened a lot. Just stare at me up and down. This look that just isn't very welcoming.
So they just feel like just because you're a certain skin color, that you're going to perform these certain actions because you fit the type, you fit the mold.
All they see is just a thief.
I was working at the Red River exhibition in Winnipeg, Manitoba. My job was to open the gates for kids and like little kids, like strap them in, buckle their seatbelt so they're safe on the ride. And a woman, I guess that was her child, she told me not to like touch her kid or nothing, and I didn't know how to take it. Hold on.
When I was in high school, back in Montreal, the class group that I was in, I believe 95% of us was Black or Hispanic. The care that we got from teachers, if they were not giving us what we actually need or pushing us towards being successful, they were just kind of letting us walk through.
I have been in situations where I have questioned whether my race is the reason I'm in that situation.
Maybe I am in a classroom setting. I will state what my opinion is, and the instructor will move on to the next person who actually says the similar thing, and it just makes me feel sad in a way that there could be other people like me who we don't feel that we belong or that we're accepted or even considered.
So we went and looked at an apartment, a room for rent. The guy showed us all around, introduced me to a lady, a Caucasian lady, and said, oh, she's staying here. And I don't know if he forgot that he told me that, but when we were outside and about to leave, he said, I can't rent the room to you. And I said, well, why not? And he said, because we don't rent to women. And I was like, well, there's a woman renting one of your rooms right now. I said, but that's fine, that's okay. Like, I'm used to it.
Like in America, sometime when there is some shooting act, they always say, no, he's a mentally sick person, he has some psychological problems. But when Muslim, involved in some bad act, it is always blamed to their religion.
Because racism is so normal to us and we've been experiencing it since we were young kids, we're numb to the feeling of it. We see it all the time.
I noticed that every time I'm within a group of more than 10 of my friends, and they're majorly black, we'll have police cars driving slow toward us, and if we stay too long, they would ask us to separate.
I have had a Caucasian girlfriend for most of my life, and whenever I'm in the car with her or something like that, I usually do get pulled over because people think I'm a pimp or I'm doing something wrong.
My first girlfriend was half Germany, and half Ethiopia. The first time I brought this girl to my family, you can see the way they looked. We're like, oh, this is not a German.
So we were at a party, and there was like a bunch of other black people that were there, and there was a bunch of white people who came in, and they said, why are you guys here? You guys are not welcome. You guys are just a bunch of niggers.
And I was just walking to the shopping mall when I happened to pass by this one lady. She kind of had a staged whisper when she said, fucking Indian, get back on the reserve.
Things that shocking are still happening today, and it has to be addressed.
All has to stop for me. All has to stop.
Being big and black, I can't just allow myself to be in public and keep to myself, because there's a stigma attached to that type of black guy. I almost am obligated to be the friendly guy. A smile on my face, friendly guy saying hi. It definitely does. It gets tiring. I'm still a human being. I have bad days. There's days where I just do not want to talk to anyone. But I cannot afford to do that because of what I look like.
The poem is called Don't Judge Me. I walk through life with a shadow behind me. My dark skin captures eyes luring. Because of who I am looked at. A skin different from mine is praised, or should I say privileged. My dark skin is seen as sinful. It doesn't matter about the history behind the beaten, bruised, tear down skin attached to my body, woven, sewn into the cuts and marks that society has put upon me. These marks, scars, and bruises, it makes me stronger. I am a black skin girl, don't judge me.
I think, unfortunately, racism will exist forever, because there are some people that stuck in the past.
To me, not only is it a false concept, but it's used with such evil motives.
And there's a lot of hate, a lot of fight, and just because of power, they just forget about loving each other.
I think that racism prevents the society to move forward politically, even in our trading system. The other is the enemy. If I don't make this money, you will make it.
We can't just change people's minds about racism. It's embedded in our society.
It's everyone's thinking it, honestly. Like, you walk past a person, you know this person is not like me. But just trying to move past the fact that our differences can bring us together instead of tear us apart.
I honestly think one of the biggest things we can do is educate people.
The only thing that I can think about is really raising awareness, making it not a taboo subject.
Educating people on what it is and not being afraid to talk about it.
Never just pass by it. Never always address it, and always try to combat it. Make the people aware that it's just a false belief.
There aren't a whole bunch of races. There's one race, and that is the human race.
In the Bible, it does state that, God created all people. He created everybody. God doesn't make any mistakes. And we are all his children. We are all one.
There is no difference between human beings. Everyone is equal in front of Allah.
We're also human beings that are just born in a different country, born in a different circumstance.
When we come from another country, they're not just here because they want to, they need to be here. So in our home country, we can feel the love, feel the passion, but we don't have the material things. And then when we got into Canada, we have the material things, but sometimes we don't feel that love, that happiness. And why can't we just put all these things together? So if we practice love and the material things, it would be perfect.
I'm really mind open, so my children, I think they will be mind open too.
It does start at home, starts at a young age.
Everybody is basically the same. If we travel a lot and if we see a lot of countries with the different cultures and the way they live, people can more understand them.
I do agree. I think once you have an open heart and open mind, anything can happen.
I am a true believer of educating people, and education will go a long way. And I don't know, the person has to be willing.
Acknowledging differences is something that has to happen. We're not the same, and that's a good thing.
We have this cultural aspect to us that is different, but yet we still have common ground, and we have common purpose.
The only way I believe is acceptance. Accept for who they are, accept their values, accept their beliefs, accept the way of their life, and respect them.
Sport is the best way to unite everyone.
For sure. I think that sport helps a lot to fight the racism.
I bring kids in from around the world, whether from Serbia, Australia, Liberia.
And in the soccer team, we come from everywhere.
Black people, white people, Asians.
England, we have France, we have German.
Turkey, United States, all across Canada. And our team is a melting pot of all different cultures, and we come together for one goal, and that's to play basketball for the love of the sport, for the love of each other.
Because my generation and the younger generation are all fine with each other. We all hang out.
Sport, it's like a bridge between all the countries around the world. It connects people, similarly to music, similarly to dance.
I volunteer every Sunday over in a children's art class. When children make their own things, it's sort of like an insight to their minds.
Because I have artworks that are exhibited in galleries, in the streets, and even on social media. And beside my art is not my face, but my ideas and I guess myself in another form. You're more than just your appearance. You're more than just where you're from. You have so much to offer.
Open your mind. That's about it. Just open your mind. We all humans, We all have problems. We all have struggles. We all have our flaws, our quality,
I think we could just live in a world that we're living in now and do the same thing, but with more respect for each other.
Literally, I have a dream world a world where people do not just judge each other just because of their differences, but where we celebrate differences.
I'd like to see a world where nobody is judged on the color of their skin or where they're from or...
I would like to see a world where everyone is equal. Whatever part of the world you're from, it should not matter.
I'd like to see a world whenever something bad happens to anyone with color, your first thought isn't that this happened because of this color.
I know we're humans, we all make mistakes, conflict. Okay, conflict will be always in our life, and no, actually, I don't have the answer. This is what I say.
I wouldn't remove the pain, because the pain is something that's who you are, and you overcame it, and you are the person you are today.
I would love to see a world where we all love each other, where we all respect each other and our differences, and we agree to disagree, and we can just live in peace.
Peace all over the world, freedom all over the world. It's hard, but that everybody has the same chance to achieve something.
Just talk or just give a hug.
Like when we know each other personally as a human being, so there is no chance for racism.
I want people to know that I am here for them, but it's not just me. So if you are facing through some situation, you can just come.
I'm like a really approachable person. Like you walk up to me, I'll tell you stories. Like I'll basically waste your time, sit you down and tell you all these amazing things. And I like to know a lot about people too.
I feel like what people should really know about me is that I'm honestly really like loving. I feel like if anyone were to be in a situation where they needed help or anything, or no matter who they are, I would go and help them. I would go and be there for them. I feel like that's what everybody should do.
I think opening up to people helps each other to understand each other. Talking about things like emotions, trauma. When you really open up about things like that, it helps create a bond that not only will bring respect, but will make the relationship between people evolve.
I think there's a lot inside of me that people don't know, that I have feelings too, and that I've been through some really traumatic experiences in my life that you have no idea about, and that just because I'm a certain color doesn't mean that I'm gonna be this way or that way.
I feel like it's just how you maybe embrace life and how you want to live life, but I know I want to live life in a positive outlook and with a positive light and a positive trail to follow behind me. That's who I am as a person.
By calling myself a Cree Métis woman, that it isn't just a membership. When I introduce myself, Sarah Lulit Nitsi Kasun, the root of that is my belly button, my umbilical cord. It attaches me to this.
The inner me that I would like someone to know, the Jonatas who goes out and volunteers and likes to help other people, who loves to see people coming together. That is the person that I want people to see when they look at me.
We're the same. I'm not different. So how would you react as a Caucasian person to another Caucasian person? So that interaction you have with that person, why can't it be the same with me?
I'm just the type of person who sits back, likes music, likes to laugh, likes to read. I mean, how many other people do you know who like to do those things? Probably a lot.
I think though there's only two words that you need to say: end racism. That's about it.
We're all humans. We all live in the same place.
We all have the same blood.
Yeah, we are just people. We are all humans. We are equal.
We're in this together.